Good morning. Welcome to your daily morning digest for Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. I'm your host, bringing you the most important stories from global markets, business, and world events to start your day informed and ready. Let's dive right in. First up in crypto markets, Bitcoin has reclaimed its footing above the $70,000 level, and the story behind this move is fascinating. The rally comes on the heels of Japan's election, where Sanae Takaichi emerged victorious. Now, why does a Japanese election matter for Bitcoin? Takaichi is known for her pro-market stance and fiscal reform agenda, which has investors betting on a more favorable environment for risk assets. During Asia trading hours, Bitcoin actually touched $72,000 before stabilizing above that key $70,000 psychological level. This is a significant recovery from just days ago when Bitcoin had tumbled below $61,000 during a brutal forced deleveraging event that wiped out leveraged bets across the crypto market. Analyst Chugani at Bernstein is now reiterating a $150,000 Bitcoin price target for 2026. Ethereum, the world's second largest crypto, joined the rally, up 1.4% to around $2,119. The connection between political shifts in Tokyo and crypto prices in New York really shows how interconnected global markets have become. Speaking of crypto making inroads into everyday life, here's a story that shows how digital payments are becoming truly mainstream. xMoney is expanding its partnership with Domino's Pizza, now bringing its payment infrastructure to Greece after a successful rollout in Cyprus. This isn't just about paying with Bitcoin for your pizza, though that's part of it. The partnership focuses on xMoney's embeddable checkout solution that lets Domino's Greece accept card payments and digital wallets, including Apple Pay and Google Pay, across both web and mobile platforms. The key innovation here is that customers complete orders faster without being redirected to external payment pages. Now let's look at the broader stock markets, because the action there has been just as dramatic. After a brutal few days that saw the S&P 500 swing wildly, markets bounced back hard on Friday with the S&P rallying 2% for its best day since May. The Dow Jones even crossed the historic 50,000 level for the first time ever. This rebound came as volatility cooled and risk appetite returned, driven largely by a recovery in technology stocks that had been hammered earlier in the week. Goldman Sachs research is predicting U.S. stocks will rally another 12% in 2026 amid solid economic growth and continued Fed easing. Let's shift to the semiconductor world, where the story of ASML in China is a masterclass in why global tech trade is never as simple as it looks on paper. ASML is the Dutch company that makes the most advanced chip-making machines on Earth. They're essentially the only company that can produce EUV lithography equipment, the technology that makes the most advanced chips possible. Not a single EUV machine has ever been delivered to China, thanks to export restrictions. But ASML still does significant business with Chinese customers through less advanced DUV equipment. In corporate leadership news, Apollo Global Management has appointed Diego DeGiorgi as its new head of EMEA, effective immediately. DeGiorgi is an industry veteran who will oversee Apollo's expansion across credit, equity, and hybrid origination, as well as wealth and retirement solutions throughout Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. He succeeds longtime Apollo partner Rob Seminara, who will remain in the region to support a smooth transition before taking on new global responsibilities later this year. Apollo, one of the world's largest alternative investment managers, has been aggressively expanding its footprint in Europe. Finally, in our market roundup, oil prices are drifting lower this morning as traders carefully weigh supply risks against the backdrop of ongoing U.S.-Iran tensions. Brent crude is trading around $68.85 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate is at $64.15. The critical factor here is the Strait of Hormuz, through which about one-fifth of global oil shipments pass. Analysts estimate that if a hot war were to break out with Iran, it could put Iran's 3.4 million barrels per day of oil supply at risk. And now for some stories beyond the markets. The 2026 Winter Olympics are in full swing in Milano Cortina, Italy, and this year's games are breaking new ground in fascinating ways. First, ski mountaineering is making its Olympic debut, adding 3 medal events to the competition. But what's really captured my attention is the satellite imagery. The European Space Agency's Copernicus Sentinel-2 mission released stunning high-resolution images of the Olympic venues from space, showing the vast geography spanning from the Italian Alps to the valleys below. You can literally see the ski slopes and competition venues from orbit. The games run through February 22nd, and if you're watching, keep an eye on the NHL players who are back in the Olympics for the first time since 2014. In technology news, Apple is preparing to kick off its 2026 product blitz with the iPhone 17e launching on February 19, exactly 1 year after the iPhone 16e debut. According to reports, this won't just be a minor refresh. The iPhone 17e is expected to feature the flagship A19 chip and will bring back MagSafe connectivity. But that's just the beginning for Apple in 2026. The company is also expected to unveil updated iPads, new MacBooks, and potentially even a foldable iPhone later in the year. CEO Tim Cook is under pressure to establish Apple Intelligence as a true household name. And now, let's shift gears to today's Life Wisdom segment. Today, we're exploring a powerful concept from Nassim Taleb's book Antifragile, the idea of getting stronger from disorder. It's a counterintuitive notion that challenges everything we've been taught about risk and resilience. Most of us are familiar with the concept of being robust or resilient. A resilient system withstands shocks and returns to its original state. Think of a rubber band, you can stretch it, and it snaps back to its original shape. But Taleb argues there's something even better than resilience, something he calls antifragility. An antifragile system doesn't just withstand shocks, it actually benefits from them. It grows stronger, more capable, and more valuable when exposed to volatility, randomness, and stress. Think of your muscles, they don't just recover from exercise, they grow bigger and stronger because of the stress. Your immune system works the same way. The implications for your life are profound. Most people spend their energy trying to eliminate volatility from their lives. They want steady jobs, predictable income, stable relationships, and routines that never change. But Taleb suggests this approach makes you fragile. When the inevitable shock does come, you're unprepared because you've eliminated all the small stressors that would have built your resilience. So how do you build an anti-fragile life? First, embrace small doses of volatility. Take on projects slightly outside your comfort zone. Second, practice what Taleb calls via negativa improvement through subtraction. Cut out toxic relationships, eliminate debt, simplify your commitments. Third, diversify your identity so a shock to any one area doesn't devastate you. Fourth, keep a barbell strategy, balance very safe elements with high-risk, high-reward opportunities. The beautiful thing about anti-fragility is that it turns fear into opportunity. When others panic at the first sign of trouble, you recognize that this is exactly the kind of stress that will make you stronger. The goal isn't to avoid all shocks. The goal is to structure your life so that when shocks come, you don't just survive them. You thrive because of them. That's all for today's Morning Digest. Thank you for spending part of your Tuesday with us. Stay curious, stay anti-fragile, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.